Okay, so Square Enix just announced Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm going to take a look at the trailer because, to be quite honest, well, I'll hold my thoughts until after seeing the trailer. I'll hold my thoughts.
選択肢は無限にあるはずだ。
Oh, there goes that $700 useless chess set they were selling on their Square Enix store. $700 for a chess set that you can't do anything with. Yeah, he looks a little bit too realistic now. Sora's a real boy now, or at least halfway realistic. I don't really understand this art style because of, they still have to put in the Disney characters, right? Yep, I'm confused. I'm already confused.
あなたはこの世界に来て7日間ずっと眠っていたの。ここはクワットラトゥム、聖者の世界ではあるけれど、私たち。
So everyone else looks real, right? Everyone else in this fucking game, looks realistic. They look believable. They look like people that you could actually, meet on the street. Then you have Sora running around in this game, and he clearly clashes with everyone else that's on screen. They didn't even try and hide this clash in art styles. They didn't even try and hide it, probably because, the game is rushed. I'm not really buying it. So the Heartless are back, right? It makes me wonder what the hell the point of Kingdom Hearts 3 actually was. Because it seems like, Sora defeating Xehanort didn't really do shit. Oh, great. Now they gave the now they gave the goddamn Keyblade a grappling hook, as if grappling hooks, weren't already cliche in video games at this point. After Batman Arkham, every game developer, just has to have their own version of a grappling hook. From Software did it, 343 Industries, they did it, Ubisoft did it with the Assassin's Creed series. So many different examples, and now Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has to have its own grappling hook as well. I find it very funny. It looks like they brought back the shot lock commands that basically ruined the entire combat system of Kingdom Hearts 3 and just took all of the challenge out of the game and just made it an overly cinematic mess. They're bringing back the Organization 13 members. It's like, come on, dude. Man, this company, man, I just... There it is. There's your logo. That's the money shot. That's what everyone wants to see. Goddamn Roman numerals. At this point, shit, they'll probably make this series turn it into Final Fantasy 2.0. Within the next 20 years, we'll be on Kingdom Hearts 16. It's so sad. I remember when this series used to mean something. That's what happens when things get too popular. They tend to get ruined. It's like so Sora looks realistic as fuck, right? You know, they up the realism with the art style, but then all the Disney characters now look like they're made out of clay by comparison. Is this a joke? You know, are they fucking with me right now? Is that what's going on? I'm very curious.
見つかるといいね。おい、どこへ行くんだよ。
Magic in the making. More like bullshit in the making. Because let's be honest. Let's be, quite frank, and let's just be, cut out all the bullshit and just get to the point. This game is probably not going to be very good. I'm just saying right now. It'll be a fucking miracle if this game turns out to be any good. Square Enix, they completely ruined Kingdom Hearts 3 because of how rushed that game was. You can clearly see, they just cut corners with that game. That game should have been a lot more than what it turned out to be. That's a game that was 12 years in the making. A lot of people were highly anticipating that release. And, they delivered to us, I think it was 5 worlds or some shit, throughout that entire game. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then there was a whole list, this extensive list of YouTube videos full of people, just coming up with all sorts of creative and unique ideas for, Kingdom Hearts 3. And Square Enix completely fumbled the ball. Even with some of the newer Disney worlds that they put into that game, such as Toy Story, Big Hero 6, that was another one that was in that game, Tangled. These worlds, they looked great, but they weren't really that fun to play through. Especially if you compared it to Kingdom Hearts 2. Like the content wasn't there. And as I stated earlier, the shot lock commands is one of the things that actually really dampened the experience, because the shot lock commands were too invasive in the combat system, and they made the game too easy. The game was so easy, in fact, that Square Enix actually had to go back and add a separate difficulty level for players to download as an update. And then there's what they did with the atrocious DLC, the Kingdom Hearts 3, which was highly overpriced and nowhere near worth the time or the effort on the behalf of the fans. And I look at this, it looks like they haven't really even updated Sora's attire here. It looks like he's wearing just a slight variant of what he wore in Kingdom Hearts 3, and the costumes have always been a huge part of the series. Then they got some chick who looks like she's about maybe 12 years old up in here. And Sora looks like he's 17, so I don't know what's going on with that. And then there's the strange clash in tones with the art style. Sora looks semi-realistic now, but he still has the ridiculous anime hair. Then you have all these normal people walking around, and it doesn't fit, man. It's like it's all over the place. Then you have the Heartless. The Heartless are back now. It's like, so what was the fucking point of the whole so-called Darkseeker saga? What was the point of that? If the Heartless are still around. What was the whole point of the 12-year build-up to Kingdom Hearts 3 if these fucking things are still running around and shit in these games? What is the point? And then, I look at this gameplay right here. Clearly, this is a vertical slice. That's a standard industry term for, a new game that's being showcased where the developers are showing you gameplay footage of what they want to achieve. But vertical slices versus the actual product that, game developers actually deliver to retail is usually almost always different. Well, not almost always. It is always different from, what they initially show off. And I guarantee this game, all of this is just, Square Enix doing exactly what they did with Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3 when they showed off the initial debut trailer for that, the initial gameplay, reveal for that game. All this is just, a cinematic showcase, to show the game off in its best light, the cover up, the laziness of what they're actually going to deliver at retail. And I'm saying right now, I don't have any faith in Square Enix at this point. I lost faith in them, basically over Kingdom Hearts 3, over Final Fantasy 15 games that should have been great, but really weren't at the end of the day. And I don't see this going any different. I really don't. I really do hope that the series returns to its former glory. However, at this point, Kingdom Hearts is one of those things where it's become too popular for its own good, and they're just chasing the mainstream audience at this point. I saw no real combat in this debut trailer. The little bit of combat that you do see looks like it's on rails. This whole encounter right here looks like it's on rails. It just looks overly cinematic. It looks overproduced. Yeah, man, this isn't any different from what they delivered with Kingdom Hearts 3. It just looks a little bit more realistic now. It looks a little bit prettier now. And that's it. You're probably going to get the same fucking lazy experience, if not worse. And the reason I know this is because at the end of the trailer, there's a little disclaimer here, developed by Square Enix. If it has the words Square and Enix anywhere associated with the title of the game, yeah, it's probably going to end up being some bullshit. Now, I hope Kingdom Hearts 4 turns out to be great. I really do. Like, no nonsense. I really hope the game turns out well. And, as a former fan myself, I hope, this game comes out and it's fantastic and it pulls me back into the series, convoluted series that, just became convoluted for its own good, too convoluted for its own good, too ridiculous for its own good, and just too cringeworthy for its own good. I really hope that the series, goes back to its former glory, and we get a game that's truly that lives up to fan expectations, and, the fans get what they want, lives up to the former glory of the older games in the series. But I don't suspect that's going to be the case. Square Enix has been fumbling the ball with virtually every single game they release for years. And I don't think this is going to be any different. Especially if it's being developed by the same team that developed Kingdom Hearts 3, which I'm pretty sure it's from the same team. Not to mention, another thing, this seems to be a bit quick. Like, it's not any surprise that this game has been announced, because I literally said it when I did my retrospective for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 was left on a cliffhanger, like literally. You could tell, they ended that game the way they did because they intended to continue the series, which is one of the things that was actually disappointing about the game. Heavily disappointing. But it seems to be a bit quick, right? Kingdom Hearts 3 came out back in 2019. Here we are 3 years later, right? And you guys have already, it hasn't even been a full 4 to 5 years, and you guys have already greenlit another one. I don't know about anyone else, but it seems a bit rushed to me. We'll see. I don't have any reason to be positive about this whatsoever. And anyone who's blindly looking forward to this, anyone who says, oh, well, Kingdom Hearts 3 was great, I don't know what kind of game you were playing, to be fully honest. Just to be straight up, Kingdom Hearts 3 was some nonsense. We'll see what happens with it, but as of right now, I could care less.